Hello and welcome. Today we're going to talk about how our thoughts create our emotions because understanding this can truly change how we respond to everyday situations. Every emotion starts with a thought. I'm going to say that again. Every emotion starts with a thought. Sometimes we notice it. Others, it's a little subtle, like an unconscious belief. Once the thought pops up, the brain immediately jumps in to make sense of it. Quickly decides if it's positive, if it's neutral, or if it's negative. And this is based on our past experiences, our beliefs, even the mood that we're in that particular moment. Next, the body responds. That interpretation triggers a chemical reaction in our bodies. Positive or uplifting thoughts release feel-good chemicals. You've heard of them. Dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin. Negative or fearful thoughts release stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. That's when we feel anxious, angry, tense, even overwhelmed. Now the emotion kicks in. Now we're feeling it. It's not just in our heads, it's in our bodies. It's in our chest, the pit of our stomach, maybe our whole body, depending how strong that emotion is. And the loop begins. Here is when it becomes a cycle. The emotion we feel reinforces the thought that triggered it, and it becomes a loop. Thought, emotion, stronger thought, stronger emotion. Now here is something important to understand. We are meant to have these reactions. There is nothing wrong with us. See, way back when we lived in nature, if a tiger was chasing us and was going to have us for lunch, that surge of adrenaline and cortisol helped us survive. It gave us the energy and the strength to fight or to run. That's the fight or flight response. But once the danger passed, our bodies calmed down and it returned to balance. Fast forward to today, and we are still being chased, just not by tigers. Now it's deadlines, it's traffic, it's social media, it's bills, it's relationship conflicts. We live in what I call a concrete jungle, and our bodies are constantly in a low-level fight or flight mode. It never turns off the stress response. And this can go for days, weeks, sometimes even years. That flood of chemicals affects us not only physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. See, emotions are to be expressed, not suppressed. We have no trouble expressing positive emotions. Think about it. When we are excited, we shout it from the rooftops. When we're in love, we can't stop talking about that person. When something makes us laugh, we let it out freely. No shame, no filter. Joy, love, pride, excitement. These emotions feel safe. They're welcome. They're even celebrated. But when it comes to the heavier ones, sadness, anger, fear, grief, we hesitate. We hold them back. We label them as negative, even though they're just as human, just as natural. And what happens when we treat these emotions as unwelcome guests? We start to believe that something is wrong with us for feeling them. But here's the truth. All emotions, all of them, serve a purpose. See, anger can show us where our boundaries have been crossed, and we need to fix that. Sadness helps us slow down and process what's been lost. Fear keeps us alert when something feels unsafe. Even shame, if we're willing to face it, can lead us back to self-compassion. So what if we stop dividing emotions into good or bad? What if we gave ourselves permission to feel all of it? Not just the light, but also the dark. Because emotional freedom isn't about always feeling good. It's about feeling everything and knowing that we are still safe, we are still whole, and we are still enough. We've all been taught, directly or indirectly, that certain emotions are bad or too much. That anger should be hidden, sadness kept private, and vulnerability saved for special moments, if at all. Maybe when we were little, we were told to calm down, be strong, stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry about. And over time, we learned that expressing how we truly feel could be inconvenient or even unsafe. But what happens when we constantly suppress what we feel? Well, we may seem composed and all together on the outside, but inside emotions pile up. They don't go anywhere. And eventually they start to leak out in ways we can't control through irritability, anxiety, emotional exhaustion, even chronic illness. Our bodies bear what our mouths refuse to speak. Expressing negative emotions doesn't mean we explode or we're going to react recklessly. It means we acknowledge what we feel without judgment. We allow the emotion to be seen, to be felt, and then to be released. And that release might look like journaling. Let it all out, put it in a piece of paper, crying without explaining why, sitting quietly and breathing through a wave of sadness, talking honestly with someone you trust, moving your body, walking, exercising, dancing, stretching. Let your body help you process what words cannot always express. Emotions aren't here to control you. They're here to inform you, to move you, to connect you to your truth. They shine a light on what still hurts, what still matters, and what still needs healing. They're not asking to be judged. They're asking to be understood. And don't let anyone tell you that you're too sensitive or you're too emotional. You're not. You're simply alive. And life is meant to be felt. So let today be the day we stop hiding what we feel. Speak it, write it, we cry it, we move through it. And know that in doing so, we are not falling apart. We are coming home to ourselves. I want to thank you very much for listening and for sharing this space with me. And ask you please, if this episode spoke to you, share it with a friend. Subscribe to the channel. Feel free to message me, leave a comment, or let me know what topics you'd like to hear more about. Your voice and your story are always welcome here. We'll talk soon. Until then, honor your emotions, trust in the process, and never forget the power of your thoughts. We'll talk soon.